Hello, welcome back. This is Blitzstorm. So this is the second part or second episode. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna make these. So we just did posters. So now let's do some magazines. Say you want to do like an office or a facility, and you're gonna have a waiting room or maybe a coffee table by the pop machine where people can read on their breaks, drink coffee, and read a couple magazines. And you want to put some magazines on the uh, coffee tables. So let's jump in first. What you're going to need is to search magazines that you want. Normally, you'll get from like the concept artist or from someone that'll actually make a magazine, or the texture artist. Someone will make one for or a few designs, and you'd actually put the front on, the side, and then the back. But because we don't have any texture artists that, or well, I'm not able to do ones as good as what I'm going to be able to find, I'm going to search for it. Now, for my video game, it doesn't matter if it's in Japanese or English or what language it's in. I would like to find one with the side and the front and the back, but I don't think that's going to happen. So if you have like two of the same make from like anime or something of Death Note, you could put one on the back, one on the front, so that you can flip it over, read halfway, flip it over and read the other half, or something like that. But I'm not going to be able to find it. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to take a few of these, save them. So like this one's not really a good one. You don't want to get them when they're like cut off like that. You want to actually find a full magazine cover or a full book cover one. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna search like this one looks like it's a full one. Gonna grab it. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna grab a few of these, and I'll meet you guys in 3D Studio Max. So go ahead and find whichever magazine or book cover you guys want to do, whether it's people or whether it's something that you want to make up or anything like that. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so here we are back in 3D Studio Max. So we're going to start by making a box. And if we go to the top view, and it will say right here, we can actually just make it a certain size, make it a certain width. But we're going to go right here. We're actually going to change it and make our widths and stuff in there. So let's go 80. Let's see, what size would a magazine be? 60 and 1. And let's just move around, and that looks about the right size for a magazine. If not, we can always scale it down afterwards. So alright, so this is a bit like a magazine. So what I went ahead and did is I made another folder in my game objects folder called magazines. And I made a white page just like before, except I named it pages, like what we did for the poster back with paint there. So I did that. So I called it pages. If you want, as I was saying before, you can actually go into the lines here, go to the thinnest one. Say the lines are going to be a bit gray, you can actually make lines if you use this tool here. And you actually, I'm not going to make lines, I'm going to keep it white, but just to show you, you can actually go down to like the bottom and then make it straight and then do a line. So I'm going to actually undo that, but then you do that a whole bunch of times, kind of space it out, and then you got the lines for the pages. I'm not going to do that because no one's really going to be looking at the posters, I mean the magazine sides, and they're going to be so thin it's not really going to matter. if I was actually doing this for a client or a customer, I would actually go ahead and do that, make it more professional, you know. But for my game, I don't think anyone's going to notice, to be honest. So I did also find, if I go into downloads, I found a few different magazines. So I was actually lucky in my search, and I did find this avatar one here for the front and the cover here for the back. So I'm going to select them both. I'm actually going to drag and drop them both in there. But the thing that it does not have is the back of the, not the back, but the side cover. You can actually fix that pretty easy. So here is the back, there's the front. How to fix that, I'm going to actually just copy this. I'm going to paste it just so I have a copy of it, so if I screw up then it's okay, and I can just reuse the one there. But I'll delete one of these copies here. I'm just going to go to edit, and you can do this in Paint. You don't need the texture maker, you don't need Photoshop. Photoshop does help when you are actually creating textures more thorough, like making rust and stuff, but depends what you're doing. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to zoom in here. I know it doesn't look good when you zoom in like that, but just for me to use this as the side. So what I'm actually going to do is I could actually shrink this to like here. Let's go to about, yeah, it'd have to be here. And this would be the side cover of it. Now, if I'm going to be doing that, so I'm going to save file. No, actually save it as a JPEG. In this one, I'm going to put side cover. Save it. I'm going to undo it. Let's go ahead and zoom that so I got something to see with. I'm going to then use that one as a paste side cover. And I'm just going to move it down. Just enough where I can actually see how much I actually need to take off. I'm just going to grab that. And then I'm just going to move this over. To the edge. And that should be good enough. So yeah, and then I'm just going to reline this with this, then save this. Alright, so let's hop back in 3D Studio Max here. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to right click on the model. I'm going to hit convert to. I'm going to go to editable poly. I'm going to go to the polygon mode. I'm going to select everything. So I'm going to go back to the orbital view and just take a glance around, make sure everything's selected, which it is. And I'm going to go into the material editor. Now, when you're doing certain things, like if you're doing actually like a box or something like that, like a cardboard box or different textures for different things, there are actually, you have to unwrap it and then texture it and then rewrap it. And if you once you get into the more sophisticated stuff, that's heck of a word for me to pronounce with my dry mouth at the moment. Basically, yeah, I'll be showing you guys all that. There's a whole modifier list where you will do that down in the UV maps and unwrapping and tons of different stuff. And when you get more into texture, and which we'll get into later on, I'm just getting you guys used to this simple stuff first and knowing what extrude, sorry, bevel, and all that stuff. We'll be getting into that. So let's get this magazine done. So let's go back in the textures. There's going to be 3 different textures we're going to be using for this. Diffuse, bitmap. Let's hit OK. Let's go to where we saved our magazine. So let's go to pages and just put everything white for now. And let's hit apply. And if we go to the show material in viewport, it will start showing everything. So that is everything's white. So this will be the pages on these 3 sides here. So let's go ahead and add the front. So let's go to the second texture here. So I'm going to left click on it, maps, diffuse, bitmap, and it should be in the same folder. So this is our cover here. So I'm going to select that. Just make sure it's the viewport. I'm going to assign to this one, and I had just made sure I clicked on the front instead of everything. So if I click away, this is the book. Now you may notice it's a bit pixelated. It's not going to show up like this in the game. It's just the way that this is showing for the graphics. Like even if I actually go to let's go to render first. I'm going to actually change the environment to a bit lighter so it's easier to see. Hit OK, and then if I hit render, frame in window, actually I'm going to hit render here, render product, there we go. So you can see it's not as pixelated as in here when you render it. The head's more smooth. It's just it's hard to explain. It's the way that the graphics are working in the modeling too, as they will work in the game. So things may appear differently once you get them in the game. So there we go. We got the front. Let's do the side now. So let's click here. There's actually going to be 4 different textures. Sorry, I think I said 3 before. I meant 4. So let's go diffuse, bitmap, side cover, and this is the one that we just made. And let's go view and attach it on here. So we might actually have, oh no, it's all right. And like I said, it doesn't show up how it actually is. Like this red line is actually just the way that it's this model is selected. So you do, let's see, render. So it is a bit. I'll show you guys what it looks like in game after there. So let's go select the 4th. Go map, bitmap, back, open. So select that, make sure it's view, and bam. And we got the back. So now the fronts, like I said, the sides here are white, representing the pages. Like I said, if you want to, you can go and make those gray lines, do that. But there we go, we got our magazine for our game. Simple, easy, a bit shortcutty. If I wanted to, I would actually go unwrap the whole thing and map it, but because we're making an FBX, how it is in the scene here will be saved for the FBX. So we actually don't need to unwrap everything. This is just how it's going to be saved for the game. It's just easier, it's faster. It is a shortcut. Normally you want if you're going to be uploading these to like a website like TurboSquid to sell, you should actually make a map for it, which I will show you guys later. But yeah, it has the front, the back, sides. So let's go ahead and file, export as, let's go to our let's go to the game objects, magazines, magazine 1, and save it as magazine 1. Export, and I'll go in the game there and show you guys what it looks like in game. Alright, here we are in game, and I did put the magazine in. I put it up here so that we can actually see the sides, and I actually put it on the ground. So here's what it is like on the ground, and the camera angle isn't actually good, and I can't actually pan the camera, zoom. Once I get in the script and all this stuff, I'll teach you guys how to make a camera angle like WoW or like Shea or however you kind of want it to do, and so that we can actually rotate, but I can't actually rotate, so we'll have to actually look down. It's, as you can see, this is it on the ground here, the magazine, and if I actually go over to here, see how I can't back up with this character. Once we get into the character scripts too, we'll be able to run back, but it's kind of dark because I don't have the sun up, so it's going to be dark on the side, but as you can see, it turned out pretty good. So yeah, that's how to do magazines. I'm going to go and create a few more, and then I'll get into DVDs. And the reason I'm doing these for the game, for my game at the moment, is just showing you guys how to do something flat first, how to do something square, but it's also for me because in my game I want to have hidden objects, like a magazine that will appear on the ground, and if they go and run over it, grab it, then they get it in their inventory for their furniture, and they're able to use it and place it in their house. So in the anime game, if they have a coffee table that they got, they can place magazines there, or in the bathroom, or wherever they want on their nightstands. As for decoration, same posters, there'll be hidden posters all over the level that they can find, and they can grab it and decorate, and then plus posters on the buildings or wherever, shops. But yeah, there you go. That's a magazine, that's a poster, and so I guess DVDs are next. And from there, I'm not sure, maybe we'll go into grabbing things from in TV shows, like if there's a locker that we will want, or a windmill or something like that. We'll actually start getting into the more complicated stuff. So let's get into a little break and then get into the DVDs. I'm going to do a couple more magazines, and I'll see you guys next episode. Like, subscribe, and comment if you guys need help or you have any questions. I'll see you guys later.